All right, here I am. I made it. I am on the state game lands in southeastern Pennsylvania. Got the birds cheering me on, and I'm going to put up some cameras. I got a box full of cameras. Check this out, box full of cameras and batteries. Got a whole bunch of those cheap cameras. Did that video last year about all the cheap cameras I bought, and they're still holding up, still working. They do a decent job. What more do you want, right? And I got the bug spray. What else we got here? A list of notes I was going to talk about, and I got 3 cameras already gussied up, already prettied up with fresh batteries and cards. Here we go. Walking in and got my trail cameras with me. I should have brought a backpack. I am so unprepared for this, but I'm walking in and I can hear people sighting their pistols, shooting pistols and whatever they're shooting down here. There's a public range not too far away. Of course, that would spook the deer if I was hunting, but I'm going to be a mile or so up the hill here, so got quite a bit of a walk ahead of me, so no problem there. Here they go. I intend to put 3 cameras out on this section. Should have a dozen cameras on these state game lands by the time I'm done this morning. And about 2 hours from my home, 2.5 hours. So the first thing that I did, actually, when I pulled in the parking lot, parked the car, got the camera batteries all in there and all that good stuff. But I sent a waypoint off to my wife, Michelle, and Genevieve, my daughter, to let them know where I'm parked, where I'm at. If I don't make it home, they know where to go to look for the truck, right? Not a bad plan. But Onyx, the app, lets me do that. All I did was blow the parking lot up on the screen, tap it, and it says, you want to share this location, hit share, and send them a thing in Facebook Messenger. So they have it, and there you go. Now I'm on to find a good tree to strap these cameras to. I hate to be a one-trick pony, but apples. When you got apples, you hunt the apples. So I have a feeling I'm going to be pitching 1 camera right here. I wanted one on this nice corridor right here, but because of nice open travel area, there might be some nighttime pictures, not necessarily where I would hunt, that sort of thing. But with an apple tree that's producing, yeah, probably putting a camera here. When I come back, the plan is to come back early September, mid-September, collect the cameras, and then hunt the last 2 weeks of September in this area because it opens a little bit earlier. And if I do that, this is definitely one of the spots. These apples are red. That tells me they will be dropping. I have a couple other spots in here where I found apple trees too. We did not get apples in northeastern Pennsylvania because of the late frost we had. So they escaped that down here. Look at those beautiful apples. I want one. Wonder if I could get one, but man, they look great. So I will be sitting, and those are big. I mean, look at big red apples. That's fantastic. But I plan on putting a camera around here to see if there's deer here. This would be my spot to sit on the opening day even, right? Get somewhere where I can get a shot, and I can see a couple places where I could get a shot. But there's a lot of nut trees through here too, so we'll see what's going on. But deer love apples, man. If there's apples falling off this tree, they're going to check that first, then they're going to go hit the nuts, right? As soon as I'm done yapping into this phone, I am going to mark that apple tree on my Onyx app. I'm also going to mark the spot where I put the camera, so I don't forget where the camera is. I'm so excited about the apples. Quick observation too about apple trees. Look how well this apple tree fares, how it expresses itself when you removed all the trees around it. There's nothing near that tree, right? Just brush. So it's not competing for sunlight, moisture, nutrients, anything with all of the surrounding trees. They're all gone. Just this tree. Man, there's clover growing on this roadway that actually looks about as good as my clover food plot. This is one of the reasons why you scout preseason, why you get out there and check the place out. You don't want to rely on last year thinking that, oh, the same crop that's growing in this field, the same food source that was available last year is available for some reason this year. Don't automatically assume that. You get the boots on the ground, you go for the walk, come out here, have a great time, enjoy the scenery, listen to the birds, and find out that this field has been sprayed and it is not going to produce this year. Not even going to be good for bedding. So this is really a desert as far as deer is concerned. We're going to want to stay on this other part of the game lands. All the way up on the top here, and if this is not heaven on earth, I don't know what is. Look out behind me. You have the most beautiful field for pollinators, all that natural stuff, this whole meadow and bedding area for deer. It's got it all. It's got food, it's got everything. Got some nut trees, and then more nut trees. And look at the apples. Now take note, these apples are green. They're not red like the other ones. I suspect, I don't know this, right? But if I had to bet, I would say those apples, the red ones, are going to drop sooner than these ones. These might be October apples. Those might be September apples. Those might be early September apples. These are late September, early October. Who knows? There's only one way to find out. But it's pretty cool. They got lots of apples down here to hunt over. Gotta be careful what you're looking at here. It ain't just apples. Another thing I shared, right, the waypoints that you can share on here. I had a friend of Bunjie, Eric, from Dual Threat Outdoors. I had him look over this state gamelands and send me some pointers. You know, 2 sets of eyes are better than 1 set of eyes, right? So it was cool that he did that and sent me a couple of waypoints. I am very happy with what we found today. The nice thing about the onX app also is you get property boundaries. And on property, like at home, that doesn't bother me as much. I've grown up there. I know where the property lines are, right? But if you're out on public ground or you're hunting on a friend's property, a neighbor's property, what have you, knowing the property lines is pretty important. So that's pretty cool. So now I know how far to set up away from the end of the game lands here. I know where I can walk, where I can't. Don't want to be trespassing. Respect other people's property 100%. But I can set up in a lot of different spots and know that I'm 50, 100 yards away from the property line at least, so that the deer aren't going to run there as well. Pretty handy. So here's another consideration with the onX app. I am fortunate enough here to have cell service. That is not the case with all of the state gamelands that I hunt on. So if that's a problem, what you do is you download that map from onX, download that area ahead of time. You can hear that, the pistol range here. I'm glad it's getting some use, but I'm getting closer to the truck. So download the map ahead of time, and that way you have access to that the whole time. If you're out of cell range, you still have the GPS features on the phone. You'll be able to see where you are, and it will still display all of your waypoints. How cool is that? Death by Bunjie.